proper farming. And that is why in all the rural areas today, which has not been the case, you can't find roads. And how do you talk about agriculture when there's no road? How do you convey the produce? How? So we make sure that, look, if they're really talking about agriculture, there must also be road infrastructure. That's why if you go to the 6 area councils, go and see the openings. Go and see the openings. The local farmers are happy that yes, they can go to farm. Security has improved.
What is your target for that sector, so we can know what to measure and how to approach it? What are you targeting and when?
Still talking about inner roads.
That was my question. That was where I wanted to go.
This is about food security, guys.
That is where I wanted to go to, because I know that during this administration's first year in office, you did commissioning for between 9 to 11 days.
Yes.
Project upon project.
Yes.
But citizens are asking, with this energy and zeal within the city center, what are you doing for the rural and satellite communities?
That is what I've said here. I said that for the first time, it has never been the case that we have 6 area councils. As I speak to you, there's no area council that you go to now, you will see 2-3 roads being done at the same time. Even during the commissioning, we also commissioned roads in the way, even though it did not get attention of the presidency. We did not invite the presidency to come and commission such roads like in Kwale. All right? By this December, by the grace of God, we are commissioning not less than 75 kilometers of road in the 6 area councils by this December. And these are roads that are being carried out by serious contractors like Cetraco, like Gilmore, like that. So, what is our strategy? These roads are necessary in order to encourage our local farmers to have access to their farm areas. 2, for those who want to do very large mechanized agriculture, which we are trying to partner with the Milan. Can you do this when you don't have access road? So it's key, but there must be access roads.
Can we bring on board a little bit, because we may need to join 2 concepts in terms of agriculture and security. I remember in some of our discussions we were talking about some arrangement with the bordering states in terms of securing, especially our local areas that are, have joint borders with Kogi, for instance, Kaduna, Niger, and Nasarawa, to make sure that those places are secured, especially because, of course, we have farming communities there, and we have a lot of, also roots that some of these people...
Honorable, I don't want to lose sight of the question that my colleague from ADB asked, which is, what is the intention, what is the goal, the objective of your policy on agriculture, for instance?
Exactly.
Is this self-sufficiency in food production,
so people need to know
consumption,
what do they expect,
or for export?
First of all,
to contribute to Nigeria's
first of all, you have to feed yourself first before you talk about export. The problem today is that food prices are high. It's not true. Or they are not available. So our policy, first of all, provide enough food, so in order to crash down the prices, so that your people will not die of hunger. Then, subsequently, you can talk about using agriculture to raise revenue. But you can't talk about just revenue when you are running down of hunger. Nigeria has removed taxes on some commodities in order to make the people to survive. So our policy first, feed ourselves, feed our people, then you talk about raising revenue.
Well, Your Excellency, what is your plan concerning the housing deficits in the FCT?
That is another area that I believe a lot of people would want to hear what plans you
The agri part is not concluded.
Let's finish with you.
Can you allow him attend to the
We'll come to that step.
Okay.
So, sir, maybe as a follow-up to what we were talking about, because, you know, to do agriculture successfully, of course, there must be security, and those, you know, locales, those environments are places that are a little bit porous to, you know, some of these people coming in, like we discussed, you know, last time.
I have said to you, when we're talking about improvement in security, we are not talking about only just in the city. You can't talk about security only in the city. You must also talk about security in the rural areas. If security is not improved, that would hamper the policy of agriculture. So you need to improve security in the rural communities for them to be able to go to their farms and then to be able to produce. So our policies are, look, in order to encourage our farmers, you must assure them of safety. And that's why today, within the borders, like I've said, you know, Abuja is at the center. You have, like you said, Niger State. You have Kaduna State. You have Kogi State. You have Nasarawa. That's why the security will try as much as they could during the last protest to make sure there is no infiltration from hoodlums from these areas. Is to tell you that security has really improved in most of the abundance. Like I said before, that does not mean you cannot say one crime or the other.
No, sir. This part of the question on agriculture, just one more, if you will. The problem we've always had is storage, perishable goods, transporting these products so that it can be sustained. So are you looking at the larger chain? Are they going to have off-takers if they produce?
Look, all of those things. I think that you cannot talk about just if you want to feed the people. You must have storage. It is all inclusive. You can't talk about farm only just going to produce. You must also have storage where it will be stored.
So you need more than the farmers.
Farming does not, the mistake we talk about farming is like you just going to farm to plant. It also includes in terms of production. How do I store them? They are perishable goods. So you have to provide a of storage. We have to call processing. All these are inclusive. So it's not only making it available for people to just go to farm. We're not talking about mechanized farming. It is all inclusive.
So are we seeing people show interest in that sector since this policy has been on? For instance, I listened to some of the leaders in I think it was Kwali or so, where they said that if the necessary things are provided, particularly road and security, that they are in a position to produce enough bananas or plantain and cassava to feed the entire nation. Yeah. So I'm wondering if people are key into that already.
I have said this severally, but we are providing access roads that will make our farmers to go to their farm too. We also said we have improved security to assure them of that safety for them to be able to go back to farm. I have said to here severally, but I also said that having said that yes, security has improved does not mean that you cannot hear one or two crimes being committed. I made that clear, and I said, and that is what has given confidence to our rural people that today, that I wish you may have time to take, okay, let us go and see what you are talking about when you talk about access roads.
Well, Your Excellency, do you think that the FCT produces enough agricultural produce to be able to not just feed the people, like you rightly mentioned, but also establish processing and manufacturing industries to boost up the manufacturing and export industry, especially in Abuja?
That question you asked, I thought you should have answered it by yourself. Why are we talking about food scarcity in the country? If we have been able to produce enough, then we will be talking about food scarcity. So, but if you say are we making plans for FCT to be able to be self-sufficient in terms of food production? Yes. But have we been able to do that? No. I mean, have we been able to say we have produced enough that can sustain everybody in FCT? That is no.
So if we are not going to deliver this agri too much, can we just maybe perhaps just look at this one as maybe to round it off? Are we targeting particular commodities, or is it just a general thing? Are we targeting particular commodities? We could probably
first of all we have advantage of producing so many things. We have advantage that we can produce yam. We have advantage we can produce rice. We have advantage we can produce cashew. So it will take the ones you know that you'll be able to produce to the point that yes, you will be satisfied. You cannot say you want to involve. It's part of the problem we have. Take for example, when I went to Plateau. Okay, when we were campaigning then, our PDP, then our PDP primaries. So I went to Plateau to campaign. It's not my first time of going to Plateau. So as we were landing, I said, look, this country is just a waste. Look at the weather conditions in Plateau, look at the lands. So for me, I said, I will ask question. What is the advantage? What do they have as advantage to them than any other state? Take for example, because okay, in this region, I think you have advantage of producing rice. Take for example. In this region, I think you have advantage of producing cassava, for example, because of the type of land you have. My intention is, can we have land? Because land belongs to state government, does not belong to federal government. So, Plateau, tomatoes, what do you call it, carrots or this. Yeah. If we go into this, that would be good. Not just planting, also processing. If Plateau gives us, for example, 20,000 hectares of land, I believe that the federal government should be able to, okay, we are going to bring so amount of money. Sit down, form a special proposed vehicle that the state government has interest, the federal government has interest, but will not be run by the state or by the federal government, but will be given out to experts who will manage that farm. So we are producing just potato and this and that, and then we are doing processing. You go to rivers, for example, what's the advantage? Is it palm oil or is it cassava? Can we have so hectare of land? Government is going to bring the money. Government is not going to give the state the money. The government and the state can form a special purpose vehicle for the purpose of producing this in a larger, and even for export. Now, you find that, and that's what concerns me most, when I had, before now, that, look, I was governor then, and then that the central bank has spent over 500-something billion, what do you call it, anchor, and then I just asked myself, come on, so where's the food? No, are you telling me that if you put 500-something billion naira in farming today, you will not see the commodity? So the point is, you see, let us tell ourselves the truth. Even those who say they are farming, for example, is it really true that they are farming? You know, but see, leadership, and that's why in this country it requires sometimes somebody who can say to help.
You think it's not true?
I don't want to go. What I'm trying to say, what I want to say, see, it makes you mad when a country will tell you they spent 580 something billion
to grow rice.
To grow rice. And then you can't. Sometimes here, flood has taken off the whole thing. I mean, you just. I don't want to. You see, these are the things that, but you see, it requires. Politics is a very, very delicate.
So are they political farmers?
I don't know what you will call it, but what I'm trying to say, to be serious, so you don't divert our attention to.
You went there, so we need to know because we don't have that information.
What I'm saying that, having had when such figure was rolled out, I expect that yes, if that money is not put to farming as it was, then we can be talking about hunger.
Or rice costing 80,000.
I mean, we can be talking about that. So